To a good start, a chance for extra bases here, and it's a lead-off double, and we are underway with Emma Jackson standing at second.
And she hit that like it was nobody's business. She just drove a double out there in the right center gap to start things off. And I know that is not the start that Brooke McCubbin nor John Rittman wished for.
So she gets a double to lead things off against Brooke McCubbin. Hines, the senior. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's going to foul out of play. No, it's a great job by Alex Brown. Brown with a diving effort, and that will retire the side. Brown gets the job done. BC puts a run on the board. We go to the bottom of the first. Batting average on the season, Julian Noller. She's been dangerous and, of course, had her 14th home run last night.
Sure did, and she really surprised me because she's kind of nursing a tender ankle. She turned her ankle last weekend at North Carolina State, and I was even talking about the sore ankle when she drove the ball out the ballpark. So it made me look like an idiot, but that's not the first time that's occurred.
Alex Brown will lead things off. She was 0 for 2 last night in that 6-2 Clemson victory, but she scored a run. It was the 56th run of the season, and that ties her with Mackenzie Clark for the single season run scored record.
How about that? And if I'm not mistaken, Mackenzie Clark is in the ballpark tonight. Former great center fielder for the Clemson Tigers.
Absolute fixture in there. So Brown steps in, showed bunt, but holds off as she faces Boston College pitcher Bailey Konjorski, the freshman from Savannah, Georgia.
How about that?
This is her 16th start of the season. 6-9 is her record.
From Savannah, Georgia, all the way to Boston, Massachusetts.
Along the coastline, at least.
It's a great school.
Yeah.
Boston College is a fantastic school.
Brown off to a good start here, 2-0, facing the freshman. Don't get a strike called that time. Brown leads the team in average, hits, walks. He's got an on-base percentage of .530 coming in.
And she and Maddie Moore have got a great battle right now going on for leading the team in hitting.
I think it's 1 point between them coming in.
1/1000th of a point.
That pitch misses high, and it's 3-1.
Brown hitting .443 and Moore hitting .442. How's that?
That's as tight as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, that's statistical tie, as they say.
Yes. 3-1 pitch. Taken on that one. She thought she had ball 4, but you can see our home plate umpire. That is Donald Brown. He brought her back, and we go full at 3-2.
As a rule, Brown does a great job of fouling off pitches when she needs to.
And she's going to get a single this time. So Brown is aboard with a leadoff single for the Tigers, and here we go.
Yep. We've seen both leadoff hitters reach. And
wasn't ripped, but she just found a good spot for it.
That's just a nice, easy flip out into left center field. Nothing to it. Hit it where it's pitched.
That brings up Maddie Moore, of course, the outstanding second baseman for the Tigers. She was 0 for 3 last night. Did bring home a run in one of her at-bats.
It is so fun to watch her play. And I've had the pleasure, as you have from time to time, of seeing her play her entire career and watch her mature as a player, as a person, and as a leader.
Takes that one for a strike, 1-1. She has had, if you just look at her numbers, she has just had that perfect rise from freshman to sophomore. Just got better and better, and she's one of the best in the country now at second. 1-1 pitch. Fly ball. This could be trouble. It drops in front of the center fielder Case, but they're able to get Brown at second for the first out of the inning.
Now, there was not a lot Brown could do right there. That's going to go as a 8-6 put out, no base hit for Maddie Moore. But if you watch right here, I mean, Brown had to hold up. And I do believe
he dropped, and it's going to be a stolen base.
Yep.
And that's not easy to do, because there is no question that Slyke is one of the best defensive outfielder, or set catchers, I should say, in the ACC.
Yeah.
2-0 to Noller.
That makes Maddie Moore 9 for 9 in stolen base attempts, and it adds to her career lead of base stealing for the Clemson Tigers.
49. All-time program leader. And look at Noller now at 3-0, taking all the way on that one, and she walks.
You could possibly argue they may have been pitching around her, but they went from trouble to trouble.
Yes.
Because Macy Cintron is walking in. Last night you saw it. She tripled, and then she hit a home run that defies gravity.
You can see Slyke coming out to talk to Ken Jaworski. By the way, if you're looking at those Boston College uniforms, normally they're maroon and gold. Tonight it's blue and yellow. They are wearing that in honor of the Boston Marathon, which will be run on Monday. You'll see the Red Sox will play in those same colored uniforms, and Boston College's softball team honoring that annual wonderful event by wearing those colors tonight.
One game a year, right? They wear it only one game a year, right?
That's my memory, yeah.
I was going to run the marathon Monday, but I got a dental appointment.
Okay.
I got that thing. And
very disappointing for all the fans up there.
Yeah.
Cintron takes the 0-1 pitch. That's high.
Well, ever since you told me you won it one year, that's been my goal.
I think I took the bus for a lot of that route, if I remember right. It had been done before.
That happened.
Unsuccessfully.
Rosie Ruiz.
Very good.
How about that?
That's way outside, 2-1.
That's my favorite athlete ever. She ran the marathon, took the subway.
Cintron comes in. She's got 38 RBI. That's the second most by a freshman at Clemson, and she's got a runner at second base with one out. It's Maddie Moore. 2-1 pitch. Takes for a strike, 2-2.
That was just on the outside part of the plate.
Cintron has been good with runners in scoring position at .356 on the season. Ken Jaworski's pitch, fly ball. Charging in for it is the right fielder. It goes off the glove of Jordan Stevens. They will hold Maddie Moore at third, and they are going to call it a foul ball now. She dropped it in foul territory.
That's going to be an interesting thing to look at right there. If they're going to look at it, let's see. I think the ball was in foul territory, actually, Fred.
Right there at the line.
Not where the player's at, it's where the ball is.
There's a fly ball that's going to be called for by Gator Robinson, the shortstop. So they take care of Cintron there, and there's now 2 away.
And I don't want to get into the minutia of it, but the infield fly rule was in effect there. Third base umpire Craig Hyde immediately indicated such.
So 2 away, and here's Abby Vieira, the catcher. Slaps that one foul. Vieira 0 for 3 last night.
Abby Vieira is a quiet comfort for this Clemson ball club. She shows up every day, does her job, doesn't make a lot of noise. Good leader, very good leader in the clubhouse, but she just goes about her business. And she's done that for 4 years. Did you see that movement out of that athlete coaching third base?
And he can move quickly, and he protected that right ankle.
Oh, did you see that agility on display?
It's kind of a stare-like.
Yep. Well, you know his daughter-in-law is a former collegiate and Olympian gymnast.
Oh.
So maybe she taught him that move. That was, yeah, there he is, Johnny Ballgame. He was never scared.
Moore's at second, Noller at first. A 1-2 pitch is taken by Vieira, 2-2. Clemson's victory last night gave the Tigers a 10-1 lead all time in the series between the two schools. But BC is off to the early lead. Clemson trying to get back into it as Vieira fouls that one away.
And BC actually won that game on their last visit here, I believe.
They did. It was an odd series. Clemson had 2 run rule victories, and the game in the middle was BC winning 4-0. That's a fly ball, but it's going to settle.
It is dangerously close to becoming a host institution.
Top of the second, 1-0 BC, and there is the first swing of the inning, and Maddie Moore with a beautiful play to rob Adriana Martinez, and there's one down.
You wish that you could teach outfielders to take a drop step like that and run down a ball. Watch what Maddie Moore does right here. Watch this drop step. There's the drop, and she just outruns the ball, never takes her eye off of it. That right there is what you teach outfielders to do, and she did it like it was nothing. And that's why she's Maddie Moore.
One of the best second basemen in America. So one down, and that brings up Janice Espinoza, the third baseman.
I know people get tired of hearing me just go on and on about Maddie and how she's matured and come up the road she took. I mean, her freshman year, she was hitting in the 100s. Now she's hitting in the 400s. It was really funny if you look at it, Freddie. The first year, she hit in the 100s. Second year, she hit in the 200s. Last year, she hit in the 300s. This year, she's hitting in the 400s.
Can we get her a 5th year?
I mean, yeah.
0-1 pitch, and they hit her. So it's another base runner for BC, their first of the inning.
And that's definitely what you don't want to do, is give free bases. McCubbin right now not in a groove.
So McCubbin now faces Megan Schouten, the first baseman. She was 0 for 2 last night. First pitch taken for a strike.
Brooke McCubbin's got just one job right now, and that's hold them where they are and let the offense get woke up and settled in.
Grounder. It's going to get by Moore. It's in for a base hit, and BC now has runners at first and second with one down.
You ever heard the old cliche, hit them where they ain't?
That's where they weren't.
That's what that was right there, Fred.
Brings up the number 9 hitter, center fielder Callie Case. Transfer from Marist. She was 0 for 2 in the series opener. Takes a called strike. Senior from Palo Heights, Illinois.
Boston College played very well last night in that 6-2 game. And they were very competitive. You know, they scored those 2 runs and got things back to 4-2. And it hung that way for a while till Cintron did her thing.
Case lined up to bunt.
I think that was
away.
I think that was a sacrifice. I don't think she was bunting for a base hit there, just by her body and how early she squared up.
On the season, she's hitting .438 with runners in scoring position. Grounder handled by McCubbin, the throw to third. Then the ball gets past Brown, and you got bases loaded now. McCubbin tried to take out the runner at third, made the throw, and Brown couldn't make the connection. It hit her in the glove.
It sure did. I don't know if she was distracted by the sun or was just surprised by the ball coming to her, but it did hit her right in the pocket of her glove.
So now you got a meeting right there in the circle, the entire Clemson infield. It's 1-0 Boston College, but they've got the bases loaded and only one out, and here comes the top of the order. Here's Emma Jackson, who doubled to lead off the game.
This is a very dangerous part of the night right now for Clemson.
First pitch taken for a called strike.
Infield playing in. That's going to help the hitter.
Pitch to Jackson. Single past Moore. 1 run's in. They'll send the second runner, throw to the plate, and they're going to have her out. That was the effort by Schouten to try to score, but the Tigers are able to get the relay in. BC does add to the lead, but it could have been worse.
Great throw by Pipkins.
Taylor Pipkins in right field.
Boston College is appealing to seeing if there was interference by the catcher, but I do not think there was. I think she had plenty of the plate, and she had the ball before she went down to her.
Umpire made no hesitation in making the out call. That's Donald Brown, so he is going to head inside and take a look at the replays. We certainly have more than one, but that wide shot we had gives him pretty much everything he needs to take a look at. As you see, Emma Jackson standing right now at first base.
You see her, I do not think she covers or approaches anything until she's got the ball in her hands very well. I mean, this was not a situation where she held the kid off till she got the ball.
Strike. Senior from Palo Heights, Illinois.
Boston College played very well last night in that 6-2 game. And they were very competitive. You know, they scored those 2 runs and got things back to 4-2. And it hung that way for a while till Centron did her thing.
Case lined up to bunt.
I think that was
away.
I think that was a sacrifice. I don't think she was bunting for a base hit there, just by her body and how early she squared up.
On the season, she's hitting .438 with runners in scoring position. Grounder handled by McCubbin, the throw to third. Then the ball gets past Brown, and you got bases loaded now. McCubbin tried to take out the runner at third, made the throw, and Brown couldn't make the connection. It hit her in the glove.
It sure did. I don't know if she was distracted by the sun or was just surprised by the ball coming to her, but it did hit her right in the pocket of her glove.
So now you got a meeting right there in the circle, the entire Clemson infield. It's 1-0 Boston College, but they've got the bases loaded and only 1 out, and here comes the top of the order. Here's Emma Jackson, who doubled to lead off the game.
This is a very dangerous part of the night right now for Clemson.
First pitch taken for a called strike.
Infield playing in. That's going to help the hitter.
Pitch to Jackson. Single, past Moore. 1 run's in. They'll send the second runner, throw to the plate, and they're going to have her out. That was the effort by Schouten to try to score, but the Tigers are able to get the relay in. BC does add to the lead, but it could have been worse.
Great throw by Pipkins.
Taylor Pipkins in right field.
Boston College is appealing to seeing if there was interference by the catcher, but I do not think there was. I think she had plenty of the plate, and she had the ball before she went down to her.
Umpire made no hesitation in making the out call. That's Donald Brown, so he is going to head inside and take a look at the replays. We certainly have more than one, but that wide shot we had gives him pretty much everything he needs to take a look at. As you see, Emma Jackson standing right now at first base.
You see her, I do not think she covers or approaches anything until she's got the ball in her hands very well. I mean, this was not a situation where she held the kid off till she got the ball. I can't see how they could call that obstruction.
And we're waiting to get our call. They took one. That didn't take long.
Let's see what they're going to call first.
So it does go ahead, and the The call of out holds up. Second out of the inning.
1 run did score, and there's still 2 runners on.
So here's the shortstop, Gator Robinson. Laid down a nice sac bunt in the first. And she hits a grounder. It's slow. It's handled by Collins, who gets the throw. First pitch coming from Konjorski. Collins takes it all the way. 1-0.
There she is, 5'11" freshman out of Marietta, Georgia. Had a big night Tuesday night against the rival South Carolina Gamecocks.
Game and a night she won't forget. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Takes that all the way for a strike, 1-1. Collins 0 for 2 with a walk last night, but here's what we were talking about. She hit 2 home runs against the Gamecocks, 1 to tie the game, and that was the game-winning home run that a fan caught and brought back to her. What a great moment.
And the kid got an autograph of a lifetime, and Collins got a memory of a lifetime right there. How about that?
A 216-foot walk-off home run in the 9th inning. What a moment that was. A ball and 2 strikes, though, now. That'll even it up at 2-2. Collins coming in with 9 home runs. That leaves all the Tiger freshmen.
Clemson does not need to panic, but they do need to be urgent right now. They can't let this Boston College team get too far away from them early in this ball game.
Fouls that one to stay away.
We've seen the Tigers have to come from behind in many of our broadcasts, but no coach and no player in the world likes to play without the lead.
It's not ideal, that's for sure. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Collins, and Collins takes a big cut and goes down swinging. First out of the inning, first strikeout for Konjorski.
That pitch was up in the zone. You watch right here, see the rise on her. And Collins just swung under it.
So 1 down. Here's Kylie Johnson, the left fielder. Johnson squared up to bunt, takes the pitch for a ball, 1-0. Sophomore from Wesley Chapel, Florida.
Well, there's one location I do not know where it's at.
Don't know either. See her numbers on the season. Rips that one, but that goes foul.
I guess if we wanted to know, we should ask Kaylee, shouldn't we?
That would probably help.
Probably knows how to get home.
You know, we've seen her. She's been a pinch runner, bring her in late for defense, but getting the start in left tonight.
Right.
Ball and a strike.
Only a sophomore. Clemson is rich with good freshman and sophomore players.
The freshmen have right at 1/3 of the team's total hits on the season. She drives that one toward the glove and into the glove of Zoe Hines, and there's 2 down.
That was hit hard, but right at her.
There's a look at Hines, and left fielder. We talked about her before the game. She's from DeBerry, Florida. So here's Taylor Pipkins with 2 down and the bases empty. That's a called strike. Pipkins was 0 for 3 last night. This is her 17th start of the season.
Yeah, she's been getting a lot of starts recently.
Pops that one up. Calling for it is Jackson. Just drifts into shallow part of the outfield, and that takes care of the Tigers in the second. 2-0 BC going to the third. Good crowd on the outfield berm on a Friday night for ACC softball. Boston College leading Clemson 2-0 as we start the top of the third. Beautiful evening here, 81 degrees. at first pitch tonight. Got a little bit of a breeze right now. It's blowing straight in from dead center field as the 3, 4, and 5 hitters come up for the Eagles. And here's Hannah Slike. Slike knocked in the game's first run with a single in the first.
And
wow,
Fred,
look at those numbers.
Yeah, and Fred, we did have a scoring change. The ball that went off of Collins in the first was originally scored as a hit. It has now been changed to an error.
That's the second of the game now for the Tigers on the board.
Yes, we had the throw in error the not catching the ball error by the third baseman Brown. So the left side of the infield both have one.
Fly ball deep left field, gone. Hannah Slike leaves the ballpark, and BC is celebrating. They're now up 3-0.
And she got all of that. That ball did not move any at all.
That is Slike's second home run of the season. And just like that, Boston College extends this lead.
And we talked about it the last half inning, and that is
officially 233.5 feet for Slike to make it now 3-0.
Yeah, the Tigers don't want this Boston College team to get too far ahead of them because they are a good defensive ball club, and if they get enough pitching, it's going to be a little bit of work to get those runs back.
Jordan Stevens, the right fielder, had a fielder's choice the first time up in the first. That's a grounder that's going to get past a diving Marion Collins, and now BC has 5 hits on the evening. And John Rittman is making his way out to talk to our home plate umpire.
And he's got his lineup card in his hand. I think we're going to see something occur. I'm not sure. Yes, we are. We're going to see Macy Cintron come in and pitch.
You can see he's out there talking to his starter, Brooke McCubbin, but Macy Cintron is going to come out, and she's going to pitch for the second time in this series as McCubbin gets an ovation from the Tiger fans. We will talk about the new Clemson pitcher. The new Clemson pitcher is the freshman Macy Cintron. She's making her 20th appearance of the season, but she saw action last night. She came in and pitched the final 3 innings through 24 pitches to close out that 6-2 victory last night. It's an immediate bunt. They're going to be able to move the runner over as Zoe Hines lays down a bunt. It's an out, but it does advance the runner to second.
And she did her job. That's exactly what they wanted. With no outs, they wanted to get another run in scoring position. When you're playing a team that's, ranked in the top 25, if you're like a Boston College, you are definitely just trying to chip away, one run at a time. Let's see what.
Yeah, John Rittman came out to have once again another word with Donald Brown, our home plate umpire, and they're going to bring in the whole crew.
I don't know if the hitter had her foot out of the box when she bunted the ball. If she did, it's a dead ball and the runner has to go back to first base. But I have no idea if that's what he's appealing.
We are going to get our second review.
Yep, you'll see what I'm. Well, maybe he is appealing that the runner left too early. That's a good thought.
The first replay confirmed a call that cost BC a run. And they tried to stretch a base hit to get. They got one run across. The second runner was thrown out at the plate. Let's take a look right there at Jordan Stevens, who at the moment is standing at second. There's a look, by the way, at Amy Cavilhog, the BC head coach. We're going to talk to her at the end of this inning.
She's got to be in a good mood right now.
I would think so. Okay, you're looking at the runner at first. There's another look at it.
And she was going early. They're going to get her. You've got to be on the bag until release. And watch right. Well, they took it off the screen fast for me, Fred.
They're going to give you another look.
All right. Watch right here. Ball still in her hand, foot, so she's gone.
She's almost taken a second step.
And she was definitely off the base.
We'll see if our umpire crew agrees with us. They took a little bit longer look than they did for their first replay. Here they come back out again.
They must have Gator in that film room or something. Powerade, I guess.
So the runner at first is indeed out. So Stevens took off too early.
Yep.
And that changes everything.
The bunter has to come back up to the plate now. I'm quite certain that Zoe Hines.
There's Zoe Hines. She steps back into the plate.
She did her job and got the sack bunt down. But the base runner in her trying to hustle, you see it all the time, got off the base just a little bit early. Now, back in the day before replay, there's no way an umpire can make that call. And so I'm not going to say that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's what instant replay has now allowed for you, because it's bang bang. When we slow it way down where everybody can see it,
frame by frame.
But
right.
by the eye, you just really can't tell. Now, there was an error by the coach there. Her foot did not get down to kick that ball. She will answer for that.
Okay, you can ask her about that coming up in our interview with her in a few moments.
I'm going to talk to her about it. I'm not going to ask her.
2 balls and a strike. Bases are empty with 1 out. Hines almost took out her teammate Martinez right there with that foul ball off.
When you get a foul ball at you with a hitter to you, whose back is to you, and you're the on-deck hitter, she's gotten around on that ball.
There is Amy Cavill-Hogg. We will talk to her after this inning. Fly ball. Could be some trouble charging in, and it goes off the front of the glove of Johnson. Kylie Johnson dove for it, but couldn't come up with it. And BC has another base runner. Their 6th hit of the day.
And they are hitting balls, just little bloops here, little 4 hoppers there. That ball was hit right out there in the middle of everybody. The shortstop Collins was called off. That's why she checked up. I don't know if the sun is affecting that left side right now or not, but I tell you what, the Clemson defenders are having a hard time playing defense over there on the left side of the field right now.
Clemson has 2 errors in this game. There's a look from our camera that's behind third base. Again, here's that view with the setting sun. Sun's not going to go down officially till after 8 o'clock here at Clemson, but it's a little bit difficult out there for the left side of the infield for both clubs. But Brown had that error that could have easily been that, but not to take anything away from Boston College, because again, they got 6 hits and 3 runs on the board, and
yeah, they're earning it, yes, but the Tigers have helped them, shall we say.
Martinez ripped that one, but it goes foul.
What time did you say the sun was going down?
8:06 officially.
Did y'all account for like Friday night traffic and all that?
2-2 pitch. Fly ball. Coming over for it is the center fielder Brockenbrough. She makes the catch. 2nd out of the inning.
You know, we were talking about Mackenzie Clark being in the stadium tonight, the great center fielder that Clemson had here for 5 years. Brockenbrough, coming over from Tennessee, has done an outstanding job defensively in center field for the Tigers this year.
Janice Espinoza was hit by a pitch first time up. Cintron's first pitch misses high, 1-0.
To finish the point, you don't replace a Mackenzie Clark.
No.
But Brockenbrough has came in here and established herself as the center fielder now.
She rips that past the glove of Collins. It's another hit for the Eagles. Their 7th. Now you got runners at first and second with 2 down. They've hit a few that have just fell into spots here and there, but they've had a couple of rips this inning. Slikes home run, and there was no question about that pitch. So here's Megan Scouten. She reached on what has now been ruled an error off the glove of Collins.
Correct.
The 0-1.
This is of these two teams.
Brockenbrough takes a called strike from Bailey Konjorski.
And you know what happens when your team scores your runs? You get more confidence. And when you get more confidence, you play a little bit better defensively. You pitch a little better. Everything gets a little better.
Takes that for a ball, 1-1. Well, if the Clemson's going to do it, this has been their inning. The Tigers have outscored their opponents 55-19 in the third inning of games this season.
There's a very logical reason for that, because usually that's the second time through the batting order they've seen the pitching, and they get good swings at it. Now, Brockenbrough is seeing it for the first time. That may or may not mean a thing.
2 balls and a strike. 3-1.
Brockenbrough is doing what a leadoff hitter should do, is being patient, trying to get on base any way she can. She'll take a walk, she'll take a bunt.
The pitch from Konjorski, that's going to be fouled out of the plate. Will make it a full count. Brockenbrough was 1 for 2 last night, scored a run, as you mentioned, the transfer from Tennessee.
Boy, you know, Clemson's going up to play Tennessee midweek this coming week.
Grounder handled by Espinoza. The throw over to Scouten, and there's one away.
And look at the hop and the way the Eagles threw that ball around the ballpark. I mean, they're feeling it right now.
One of these teams has won 7 straight and is 36-11. The other is 19-22, but it is hard to tell. Alex Brown had a leadoff single in the first, her first time up. Konjorski's pitch. Strike called. A ball and a strike. Boston College opened the season playing 24 straight games on the road or neutral sites, then had an 18-game homestand until they played at Clemson last night to open that series. How is that for schedule?
They were on the road for a month, and they were at home for a month. Yes. And now they're on the road.
A ball and 2 strikes to Brown. Takes that one. That levels it at 2-2.
It's not uncommon for teams from the north and the northeast to open the season for a couple weeks down in Florida in tournaments. But, you know, at home, on the road for a month.
Brown slaps that one, but it's going to go foul.
And I don't know if I've ever heard of somebody being at home for a month.
Yeah, and going through conference schedules and all that, yeah. Bailey Konjorski working with a 3-0 lead. And she's going to give up a hit. Alex Brown is aboard with a 1-out single to center, her second hit of the day.
She drove that ball. You watch this. This is a good job of hitting. Just drove it right back up the middle. Look at that follow through. Man, she is in a real good place right now as a hitter.
So that brings up Maddie Moore. As you see Brown at first. Fouled that one just out of play. Feels like we haven't seen Moore for about a month.
Yep.
The way this game's gone.
And this is a kind of a big point in the game right now. If Clemson could scratch a run, just one run or something in right now, this inning, to let Boston College know they're not going anywhere.
Rips that one for her second hit of the day. Brown is standing at second. Moore is at first, and the Tigers will bring the tying run to the plate in Julia Noller.
And Fred, she is not bunting. Good job of hitting right there by Maddie Moore. That's Maddie being Maddie right there, if you're a Clemson fan.
So what's John Rittman telling his big power hitter right now?
Telling him not to be too eager. Wait and be sure you get a good one. Sometimes a young player, and Noller only a sophomore, an extremely talented player, but your adrenaline can get going and you can kind of come out of your shoes trying to help your team. He said if the first one was good, go ahead, but don't be sure you get your pitch.
Noller fouled the first one off. She walked in the first. That was that crazy first inning when Brown and Moore singled back-to-back, but Brown got thrown out at second.
Right.
Tigers looked like they had a chance to start a good inning and wound up coming out of there with nothing, but things have turned around again.
It wasn't Brown's fault. That ball she
Right.
had to hold up.
Yeah.
So
Just one of those things.
yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Noller takes a strike from the freshman Konjorski.
Konjorski's ahead now. Now Noller's got to be a little bit defensive.
The 1-2. That's going to make it 2-2.
We're not angled directly behind home plate, but it takes a great eye to take a pitch like that with 2 strikes.
Yeah. Kind of slaps that one. Foul.
That was a defensive swing right there. That was one that you really didn't want to do, couldn't do much with, but she couldn't let it go by.
Here's John Rittman. We'll be talking to the head coach of the Tigers in just a moment after the end of this half inning. Noller, fly ball, left field, but it's going to be into the glove of Hines. Nowhere for the runners to go, and there's 2 out. She gave it a ride, but it stayed in the ballpark.
Got under just a little bit.
So that brings up Macy Cintron.
Yeah. He's walking and said, Macy, heroics will be all right now. I'm in my early 60s and I'm aging rapidly, Macy. Why don't you hit a double?
So Cintron steps in. She flew out to shortstop in the first. Takes that one all the way, 1-0. Brown is at second. Moore is at first.
And they know what Cintron can do with a bat because she did it last night.
Strike called, 1-1. Cintron 2 for 3 last night. That misses, 2-1. We got that point in the game now where we got the shadows, have the circle in the sunshine, and home plate is in the shadows. And it goes past the third baseman Espinoza. A run will come in. The Tigers have a diving effort and they get the runner in at third. And we've got a double, RBI double for Macy Cintron. She did it again.
She sure did, and she ripped that ball down the line.
And in third, kind of check swing that one foul.
The Tigers have had an okay inning.
Yeah.
Right now. Vieira can make it a very good inning.
She flew out to left field the first time up.
Somebody down there called time. We're going to start everything over again.
They reset the pitch clock, but Konjorski's ready to go. Grounder into the glove of Konjorski, who will make the play at first and retire the side. Clemson gets a run on the board to draw closer. We'll talk to John Rittman when we come back. Fred Cunningham, Scott Whitlock. We're joined by Clemson head coach John Rittman. John, you're in a tough ball game tonight. At least you got one run back in that last half inning.
Yeah, it's good to fight back. I mean, they came out and threw some punches at us early. Defenses let us down a little bit, but hey, it's that time of year. You know, you got to bring your A game in this league, and we got to find a way to scrap and claw and get back in it.
I almost saw, I think, from up here down with you discussing things with players, you're telling them to be patient. I could see you were telling them that patience was their friend.
Yeah, we got to have a plan, you know, first of all. We just can't go up there and not have a plan. And I think, you know, the more she pitches, the more we understand our plan. And, yeah, patiently aggressive is our term. And if it's in the zone, we want you to attack. If it's not, don't be afraid to hit with 2 strikes. I think we're chasing a little bit early in the count.
All right. Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, that's John Rittman, and there's Macy Cintron, who is started the ball game tonight for the Tigers as the DP, but then came in relief of Brooke McCubbin, who struggled a bit tonight.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing about college softball. The lineup has not changed a bit.
9 1 and 2 hitters coming up for BC. They tried to lay down a bunt, and it is not in time. Callie Case tried to beat it out. Nice play by the Tigers, 1 down.
Got her. Yep. That was a great job by Brown. Barehanding that ball was the only chance she had. What a great job. What a great shot by our camera crew. I was walking in the ballpark today, and a gentleman stopped me and told me to be sure and tell everybody, and this, I'm not joking about this, with our production team, what a great difference it is watching a game from Clemson than watching Clemson play on the road. These guys down here in the production, the camera people, they are second to none.
There's no question. They do a great job, and it's wonderful to see all the camera people working on a night where it's a nice 81 degrees, because we were doing games here in February and March, and they had to bundle up.
Yes.
Sometimes for double headers.
And I don't know what you did to cause trouble between you and the guy in the third base whale down there, but hopefully you guys will get it patched up someday.
Emma Jackson, fly ball. Brockenbrough standing in center field. She brings it in. There's 2 down. First time they were finally able to get Jackson out. She had a couple of hits prior to that plate appearance, and with 2 away, here's Gator Robinson.
Now, yesterday we had a discussion. We'll see how that bat unfolds. Discussing the fact that she's a young woman from California. How does a young woman from California get the nickname Gator? Because there's no Gators in California. No Gator would go to California.
It's a long way to go.
And there's a strike called. And everybody knows that alligators are in the southeastern part of the United States and in China. I know you knew that. I knew it. Everybody knew it. I found out. I did investigative reporting, and I found out how she got the nickname Gator.
How'd she get the nickname Gator?
When she was young, her given name is Allie. Okay? And her father, you know, in terms of, you know, endearment, would call her Alligator. And that's how Gator got tagged. But if you're going to have a nickname,
that's one of the coolest
Gator
nicknames.
is a cool one, isn't it?
That's no question.
I mean, Gator's great. You don't want to be Aardvark. You know what?
No.
You want to be Gator.
Well, Gator's facing a 2-2 pitch from Cintron. We're going to go full at 3-2. And the orange-shirted umpires don't quite agree with that last call.
Yeah, they made their presence felt right then.
3-2. She misses that time, so Gator's aboard with a 2-out walk.
And the home plate umpire will hear a little gripe and grumble from behind the backstop now. Cintron got the first 2 hitters out, lickety-split.
He's given up a couple of hits. That's a walk. And here is Hannah Slike. And Slike is having a big day. RBI single at the first, hit a solo home run in the third.
And she's having a pretty good year. She's a senior.
She ripped that one, but it goes foul.
He's bumped that average up to 306 tonight. Got 24 RBI, hit a couple of home runs. You really want to get her. You don't want to face Stevens with 2 runners on base. She is the player that hit the ball off of Collins' glove.
Right, yes. That did get changed to an error.
Yep.
So she's got 1 hit, but it's still a big one. That home run. Takes a swing and a miss there, and that will retire the side. Clemson gets out of it, allowing just 1 base runner. It's 3-1 BC. Back at Clemson, bottom of the 4th. Umpires in a hurry tonight. And at Clemson, the Jay Mobley is in the stadium. A 1-0 pitch to Marion Collins. Collins fly ball. It's into the glove of Zoe Hines in left field. There's 1 down. And again, the Jay Mobley is in the house.
I know the Jay Mobley.
You are lucky.
Not really. I've known him for almost 30 years. It's not that big a deal.
Kylie Johnson up with 1 away.
We have mutual friends. He's very good friends with the family of Clemson freshman Ava Wilson. And he's up with the Wilson family this weekend watching games. And the way Mobley and I met,
Kylie Johnson drops it in for a base hit. It's a 1-out single, and she's aboard.
Great job of hitting right there by Allie. Just drove that thing right to left field. The Tigers are taking better swings now. But to close it up, I met Mobley when he was a left-handed pitcher at Kennesaw State University back in the late 1980s. How about that? Back then, his beard was brown, his hair was brown, and he didn't have a gut.
I had hair back around those days, but that's another story. Taylor Pipkins, the freshman, steps in. Number 8 hitter, the right fielder. She flew out to second base the first time up. She's at 325 on the season. As we mentioned earlier, getting a lot more playing time here as we get to the point of the season where freshmen really aren't freshmen anymore.
No, not particularly not the Clemson freshmen, because they've had so much of a chance to play. I think you alluded to earlier that 1/3 of their offense has come from the freshman class.
And she rips that one. It's back-to-back singles for the Tigers. And they're getting some production now out of that 7 and 8 spot.
Yes, they are, and they're getting good swings. You watch this ball was hit on a line. I can't tell from my vantage point if anybody's working in the BC bullpen, because we are about to start the 3rd time through.
They do have a reliever up right now as Jamison Brockenbrough comes up.
Yeah, Gabrielle
Alton. There she is. As you can see, 70 pitches now for Konjorski. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Brockenbrough takes that one, evens it up at 1-1.
It's got to be really, really difficult for the third baseman to see right now. That way that sun's cracking in.
Yeah, that's a challenge for Espinoza. Drops it right to her. It's going to be a race for the bag, and they're going to rule the lead runner out, Johnson.
We'll see what we see.
You saw John Rittman signal safe, but the third base umpire called her out. That's Craig Hyde on the call.
And he's a good umpire. Hey.
Here's another view at it.
Yeah.
Looks like she might have got that foot there in time. So that makes it 2 down, and
she did. Craig Hyde's a fine umpire. You don't miss many.
Alex Brown, top of the order. She's got 2 hits so far in the game.
Now, I want to be sure I set the record straight on that, Fred. Craig Hyde don't miss many now. When he umpired my games 10 or 12 years ago, he used to miss a bunch.
He finally found his groove. 2-0 pitch to Brown. 2-1.
I was lucky. I got a lot of old friends that are umpires now. And every one of them always comes up to me and says, "Do you remember when you said this to me?" Oh.
I don't recall that, Senator. 2-1 pitch.
Yeah,
fouled it away.
I put my hand over the microphone and asked my attorney, should I answer that?
I'd like a moment to confer with my client.
Yeah.
Alex Brown has had herself a season. Transferred in from North Carolina her second year with this program. And she got over the head of Robinson. The run will come home. Everybody is safe. Across comes another run for the Tigers. And now it's a 3-2 game.
And to say that Alex Brown is seeing the ball is an understatement. No matter where they pitch it, she's hitting it.
That's her third hit of the game. It brings home Pipkins, and it gets the Tigers back within a run. There's still 2 out, and here is Maddie Moore in a big spot. Pitch dribbles up in front of the plate. Blocked by Slike. Moore in the game, 2 for 2.
And what's so cool, Fred, is sitting up here with you. I'm calm. I'm not nervous.
Fly ball. Deep left center field. This one is out of here, and Clemson goes in front. Maddie Moore delivers.
I said it the last at bat. That's Maddie being Maddie. That's just what she does.
Home run number 13, and the Tigers have lifted themselves off the deck. They've got 4 on the board and go in front 5-3.
And all of the runs have scored with 2 outs. Watch this. Bang!
And she gave this a wallop. This is 254 feet.
She knew it.
Wow. Nobody could catch that. Someone's going to have to go chase it.
Another lousy effort by the fans catching balls out there.
We're going to have a talk with them.
We're going to have to work with them in the offseason.
And you can see the celebration, get that chain right on there. And Clemson has responded as a pitching change is coming for Boston College. They've seen this one drift away from them. Clemson with a run in the 4th, and they've added 4 more, not the 3rd I should say, 4 more and counting in the 4th. We'll talk about the new BC pitcher when we return.
You cracked the case. And all the while, you were soaking in the bath. Audible, there's more to imagine when you listen.
And Doug.
You'll be back! Emus can't help people customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. You're just a flightless bird!
No, he's a dreamer, Frank.
And Doug.
Well, I'll be. That bird really did it.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Gabriella Auden is the new pitcher for Boston College. She's a junior out of Pittsburgh. She is making her 8th appearance of the season. Comes in with a 5.91 ERA. She comes in with the bases empty and 2 out as the Tigers have put 4 on the board to go in front for the first time today.
And I do think it is fair to note, and it is worthy of note, that Boston College is playing right now without their what they consider their number 1 and number 2 pitcher. They've had injuries this season in those spots, so these youngsters or these inexperienced pitchers are having to grow up fast playing in the ACC.
Well, Auten comes into a tough spot in that she's got to face Julia Noller. Noller 0 for 1 so far with a walk and hit a fly ball out to left field. Oh, 1 pitch. Noller laid off that one. Here's another amazing number. Noller comes in 51 hits on the season, 28 for extra bases. 28 out of 51. She grounds that, though, right to the pitcher.
Just give you the lead. So now, if you're Cintron in the defense, you want to play clean. Get them off the field, get the offense back in there, and maintain this momentum. The last thing you want to do is go back out here and be sloppy and give them a chance to score a run.
4, 5, and 6 hitters are up for Boston College in this inning. Brown is able to field the Jordan Stevens grounder with the throw over, 1 down.
That is a good start. So Stevens is a weapon.
They take care of her to get things started. And you can also look at third base right now where she made that play, getting a little bit of that shade now. We were talking about kind of a difficult sun for both teams, obviously.
Yes.
Here's Zoe Hines.
Yeah, all the years I coached, I never was able to manipulate the sun in between innings, you know. I tried.
Right. You had to see the big man about that. Hines fouls that one toward the BC dugout, gets Martinez to get out of the way. Fly ball, left field. There's Johnson. She makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down.
That ball was hit a mile high, wasn't it?
It really was. If we had clouds, it would have brought rain.
We used to call those done a home run in a phone booth.
Good look at Kylie Johnson. Got the start in left field tonight.
And had a big base knock.
Yeah. 2 away, bases empty. Here's Adriana Martinez. Adriana. She had a pretty good swing her first time up. They had that great play, remember, by Maddie Moore as she went into the outfield and brought that in. I say it's a great play, but she makes that look routine, though.
Yes, she does. It was a great play. If you and I had to make it, it would have been a sensational play.
Martinez fouls off the 2-0 pitch.
Fred, while we get a minute, I want to say hey to one of my former players, Janet Kearns, Buck. And she just texted, says she and her daughter are watching tonight and said we were doing an adequate job.
That's good news. Popped it up. Abby Vieira, Britt fourth, and after a shutdown top of the 5th, here's Macy Cintron at the plate.
And Cintron certainly did her job the last half inning.
She had a single to bring in a run, wound up at second because of an error in left field.
And it was huge that she went out there in the top half of this inning and got Boston College out 1-2-3 and allowed this offense to get back in here. Now, we are seeing a new pitcher, of course.
It is Gabriella Auten, who came in during the last half inning after Konjorski gave up that 3-run bomb to Maddie Moore. 2 balls and no strikes. That pitch misses high, 3-0.
Now before tonight, Auten has only worked 10 2/3 innings the whole season. So this is some on-the-job training for her.
You know, we talked about how Boston College playing pretty loose when they got that 3-0 lead, as Cintron is able to walk on 4 pitches. And we've sort of seen that flip with Clemson's offense and getting their bats going.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a pinch runner right now for Cintron.
We look toward the Clemson dugout, and indeed, here comes your pinch runner. Cintron will exit, and coming in is is Kennedy Ariel, the sophomore from Cumming, Georgia.
Suburb of Atlanta, about 30 minutes up Georgia 400. Big 4-lane that runs from Atlanta up to the northeast Georgia mountains.
Has there ever been a radio traffic report that doesn't mention Georgia 400?
Isn't that the truth?
It is.
It all. You do not want that commute.
So Ariel is the runner at first, and here's Abby Vieira. She laid down like she wanted to take the punt and wanted to bunt, and instead she gets hit by the pitch.
I think she would have rather punted.
Yeah, punted. Yeah, that's a lot safer.
And I think there's going to be a chat about, was she in the act of bunting when she was hit?
She's still holding her ribs. Let's take a look at the replay.
See. I don't think she was in the act. We'll have to see what they figure out.
You see, it just took it in the ribs, just on that left side.
Yeah, no harm, no foul. John Rittman went over to check on her physical wellness. The reason I make that point is that's not a charged meeting for Rittman. You can go out and check on your players' wellness and all that and not count as a coach-player meeting.
So here's Marion Collins. As Otten's got herself in a jam here, a leadoff walk, then hit by a pitch.
Got time's call now.
And heading to the circle is Amy Cavilhog.
And she was walking with pace, and she is talking directly to her pitcher. Okay. And that visit had a purpose right there. It was telling the kid to simmer down. You've got to give her strikes. You've got to give her strikes.
Pretty short and sweet. So Otten steps in. Look at what Collins has done over the last 5 games. Knocked in 7. Look at that slugging percentage. My goodness. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike called. Message received from the coach.
And it will pass, but if she goes into the town of Columbia, South Carolina, the next few weeks, she will need to use an alias.
2 home runs in that huge victory on Tuesday night. The only 2 runs for the Tigers. There's a fly ball. Charging in is the left fielder. Bringing it in is Hines, and that's the first out of the inning.
She got under that one.
1 out. Here's Kylie Johnson. Johnson singled the last time up in the 4th.
One observation I have, Fred, is watching Boston College go about playing the game. They're well coached. They know where to be. They know what to do. I mean, the shortstop knew when to feather out and let the left fielder handle things. I mean, sometimes you can't control, do they get a hit? Do they not get a hit? Do they make a pitch? Do they not make a pitch? But it's a coach's job to be sure everybody knows where to go and what to do. And BC does a really nice job with that.
There's a pitch taken. Misses 1-1. You mentioned they've had some pitching staff injuries. They've had a fairly steady climb under Amy Cavilhog. 9 wins, then 13, then 20, then 24-30 last year. They're off that pace, obviously, this year. All things considered, tough league, and when you're losing some key players, it's tough.
Cavilhog can coach, Fred. She is a good softball coach.
Took St. John's to their first NCAA tournament back in 2015. At the first time they'd gone to one in 35 years. Previously the coach at Radford. Ground ball, they will go for the lead runner, and they get the force. So Ariel is out, second out of the inning.
Right there you see the ball hit right at the shortstop, Gator Robinson. She knew exactly what she wanted to do with that ball and executed it.
So there's 2 away.
Allie Robinson.
Taylor Pipkins took a mighty swing at that one.
She was trying to hit a 6-run homer then.
I think she was. I think she was trying to hit that one off the football building.
Yeah.
Singled and scored a run.
Coach Sweeney had to send a bill over here. Don't knock out one of my windows.
Strike taken, 0-2.
From what I gather doing games here, softball games here, that football's a pretty big sport here at Clemson. Is that
It does get a lot of attention. There is some notoriety to it. They've had some previous success. Fly ball. Center fielder is there for Case, and she brings it in. Tigers the win last night, and here's Janice Espinoza leading things off for BC here in the top of the 6th. Macy Cintron was the DP to start the game, came in relief of Brooke McCubbin. And she's pitched shutout balls so far. 3 innings complete as she starts the 6th.
You know, I never get tired of seeing those shots that they give us of the young people in the stands with their parents or their loved ones, or I don't think there's many 8-year-olds that drive themselves here. So somebody in their family is bringing them.
I think that's a good point. Maddie Moore calls everybody off on that fly ball, and she brings it in. And there's one down.
I know the only 8-year-old I saw driving was going to lacrosse.
It really is just such a, well, this is just a perfect night.
Oh.
It's so, like I said, it was about 80 at first pitch. There's a grounder that's handled by Alex Brown. Brown, the throw over. She gets Megan Scouten for the 2nd out of the inning.
And nice job by Nola there, giving a little stretch to help out. Nice play going to her left. Nola, nice job with the stretch.
2 down. Here's Callie Case, the center fielder. Case 0 for 2 on the night. Grounded out the 3rd the last time up. 1-0 pitch from Cintron. That's a strike, 1-1.
Now the field is completely covered with nightfall in the shadow.
Grounder off the glove of Cintron. Collins with the throw over. It is not in time. Went off Cintron's glove, and that slowed it down before Collins could get there in time. So a good effort by Case. It's a 2-out single.
The ball was hit very hard. That's a base hit right there, I think.
That would have to be. Beat that throw by a good step plus, and now you got the top of the order. Emma Jackson has had a good game.
And anytime a runner is on base right now, the tying run is at the plate.
Right. Couple of hits, a single and a double. She's brought in a run. Flew out to center the last time up. Jackson got her average up to 293.
This is what I call pitching under stress. And right, you see Cintron now with a runner on base. All of a sudden it's 2-0, not 1-1 or 0-2.
There's a strike called. She had retired 6 in a row prior to that shot by Case. Two balls and a strike. Misses, 3-1.
Not sure that what that was, but
called a miss.
Notice the runner at first base. She's taking a track approach to starting. Look, she gets down low like a track runner.
Yep.
And watch her. She'll ease herself up.
Foul that one.
Now she'll be off and running now with a 2-out full count. I've seen that technique only once or twice, you know, in a career. Plays great and terrific when they come home.
Jamison Brockenbrough, who starts off the inning with a base hit. It is fumbled by Stevens in right field, and Brockenbrough winds up at second, and the Tigers have a runner in scoring position to start the bottom of the 6th.
It'll be interesting to see how they score this, because I guess if she feels it cleanly, she could have held her at 1, but I don't think so. I don't know. It'd be hard for me not to give that a double because I thought it was a heck of an effort just to get a glove on it.
Brockenbrough has now reached in 21 straight games, a streak that started back on March 15th. And now you got the top of the order. Here's Alex Brown, and all she's done is gone 3 for 3.
And if you're the Clemson Tigers, you would love to create some separation between you and Boston College on the scoreboard. And obviously, if you're the Eagles, you want to hold it right where they are.
They have ruled it a double. Gives Clemson their 10th hit of the game. Brown, by the way, we mentioned it earlier. That run she scored broke the all-time single-season run scored record held by Mackenzie Clark. A ball and a strike. Tried to lay down a bunt, but it popped beyond the grasp of Slike.
She popped up a couple of bunts last night as well. That's unlike her. It's a great idea. I mean, everybody was, I think, kind of caught flat-footed.
Yeah. With her at 3 for 3, you wouldn't see that coming necessarily. She calls for time.
No wind to speak of right now, Fred.
Yeah.
A little bit of a flutter on the flagpoles, but they're just straight down.
Grounder. It's handled by the third baseman. The throw over is it in time? It's not. Alex Brown beats the throw by Espinoza, and she's aboard again. The Tigers get their 11th hit, and she's now 4 for 4.
Well, yeah, and she hit that ball about 40 feet and just outran it. There was nothing anybody could do on that. See, clearly beat it. And now big inning is setting up for the Tigers, and you know who is coming to bat.
And here comes Maddie Moore. Alex Brown 4 for 4 now, and here's Maddie Moore. She's 3 for 3. And the last time up, she gave Clemson the lead with a 3-run homer.
If I were John Rittman, I'd dye her hair blonde, change her name, and have her come in next year as a freshman.
You really mentioned this earlier. I just love that point you brought up. Look at that. 190 as a first year, then hitting the 200s, the 300s, and now the 400s. There's a grounder up the middle. It's off the glove of Jackson. Brockenbrough scores. Tigers have now doubled up BC at 6-3.
And there is nobody out. That ball was hit like a rocket. There was absolutely nothing the second baseman could do with that ball.
12 hits now for Clemson, 8 between Brown and Moore.
How about that? That's a nice stat right there.
Wow. And here's Julia Noller, and frankly, she's due. Ripped that one foul just down the right side. She's walked once, flew out to left, and then grounded to the third baseman the last time up.
Going to have a little time call, going to have a confab with the whole ball club right now. Tell everybody to hold your head up, work hard, show your pride. And I sounded like Bear Bryant then, didn't I? That was cool.
That was good. That was good.
Everybody hold your head up.
You've had one or two of these conversations. You know, I know you have to dial back the Wayback Machine to remember them.
Similar. Mine never were that brief.
Did you? I picture you as being someone who, when the umpire came out, you'd say, "I'll be with you in a moment."
I'll be with you in a moment. Yeah. You know that I have asked the umpire when I was trying to buy time. He'd come out and say, "Coach, we got to go," and I'd go through everything we were talking about, and I'd ask him, "What would you do?"
Noller grounds it to first. The throw back, and they turn the double play. They do. Although you can see Brown sliding across. It was good enough to get the run in, as BC is able to turn the double play.
And here's something I don't know. You see right here, your basic 3-6-4.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though Brown was on third, usually when there's a double play, a RBI is not given. And I honestly don't know the rule with that with a runner on third.
We'll wait to get the official score here as Macy Cintron comes up.
I should know that, but I don't.
Cintron 1 for 2. Does not look like it. No, Noller grounded into a double play.
Cintron got the offense started tonight, but if Clemson goes on to win this game, I think what should be remembered about her is how she stopped the bleeding and held Boston College right where they were.
And it wasn't like she warmed up either.
No, well, if she did it quickly.
Yeah, we didn't see it. Fly ball. Center field. Gone. Tigers add another on the board. It's Macy Cintron. She goes out, and it's now 8-3. 10 homers on the season for the freshman.
And if you're Boston College, you're just going, how do you get this person out? Look at that. Got that old school leg kick on the front end of her swing. That ball was not as low as the one last night, but it was hit just as hard. And we're going to have a pitching change.
That was a 248-foot shot.
You got Shannon McLeod coming in now.
McLeod will be the new pitcher for BC as Clemson. Remember, they were down 3-0 in this game and looking kind of shaky, and they've exploded now with runs on the board in 3 of the past 4 innings to go up 8-3.
Yes, I agree with you. The first 3 innings defensively of this ball game, Clemson looked, as they say, rather pedestrian.
Yeah.
And then they flipped the switch. Cintron drove in that first run, and then in the following inning, the seniors Brown and Moore.
Shannon McLeod taking her warm-up throws. From Massachusetts, a freshman.
Yep, and she's
this is her 9th appearance of the season.
She's worked 22 innings. Got a 5.64 ERA. This is experience time for her. And if you think about it, I mean, the coach is just telling her, I just want you to give me an out. I need 1 out of you. You get me an out before the run is scored, you've done your job.
So McLeod gets a quick greeting from Hannah Slike, the catcher.
While we got just a split second again, I want to thank everybody in our production crew and the camera people and everybody that makes it just so much a pleasure to come here and call a ball game. Because, Fred, it ain't that way everywhere you go.
They do a superb job here at Clemson Video. So the Tigers now 8-3. There's 2 out, and here's Abby Vieira. Yeah. I'm sure the umpires appreciate the work. They get multiple angles when we do have replays. We've had a couple tonight.
Yes, they do.
Vieira is 0 for 2. Did reach after getting hit by a pitch. Fouls that one back, 0-2.
Big fan of Vieira. You've heard me say it. She just comes and does her job.
It's going to be hard to see. Lifts that one foul. You think about, it looked like Valerie Cagle will be here forever, and then Mackenzie Clark was here forever, and Vieira will be somebody that next season you'll be like, wait, where's number 4?
Yeah, where's number 4? Where's Maddie Moore? Where's Alex Brown? The other seniors.
Check swing, strike call. That retires the side. But Clemson adds 3 big runs. They will try to close it out in the 7th. 8-3 Tigers. Clemson trying to clinch this series against Boston College as we go to the 7th inning. Congratulations, you're on TV.
Mugging for the camera. That is shameless, isn't it?
That is. He's on the big screen right now.
Why don't he hold up a sign and say he knows somebody? Oh, wait a minute. I've already done that.
That's been done already today. 8-3 Tigers. 2, 3, 4 hitters up for Boston College here in the 7th, and this is Gator Robinson. Robinson had a beautiful sac bunt in the first, walked the last time up, and comes into this at-bat remaining with one of the coolest names in college softball.
Yes.
Cintron bounces that pitch up to the plate, 1-1. Cintron again came in relief of Brooke McCubbin. 4 innings of work complete here. She tries to close this one out here in the 7th. That pitch is high. 2-1.
Brad Newton down at first base wasn't going to have nothing to do with that check swing.
Fly ball. Charging in for it and calling everybody off is Brockenbrough in center field. That turned into a venture. Pipkins was there, Manny Moore was there, and I think Brockenbrough got that catch because she was louder than anybody else.
Well, you had a lot going on right there. You had Manny Moore going back. You had Pipkins running as hard as she could, and then the center fielder, who is the quarterback of the outfield, finally got everybody's attention and got the out. But we almost had a 3-car wreck.
Yeah. Dangerous hitter here. Here's Hannah Slike. She's got a solo home run in this game.
I can tell you this, though, Fred, she's not nearly as dangerous when you got a 5-run lead and nobody on base.
Yeah. Can't do quite as much damage.
Nope. If you're Cintron, just throw a lot of strikes.
You know, I talked about earlier that you've got 8 of Clemson's 13 hits are from Brown and Moore. It took a while for them to come up that second time. Brockenbrough didn't come up until the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
She smashed that one, gave it another ride. It goes off the glove of Johnson. She couldn't bring it in, and there is, standing at second base, is Hannah Slike.
And that ball was mashed. And
Johnson after it hard.
And Johnson is very angry with herself for not holding on to that. I saw the look on her face as she was going back to get in position.
Fly ball. That's Stevens once again. Brockenbrough calls everybody out, and BC is down to their last out.
At that time, you could hear Brockenbrough screaming like Tarzan.
Yes.
Coming in on that ball. She does not want any collisions out there.
So there are 2 down. Slike was given a double. That's the 9th hit of the day for BC. And here's Zoe Hines.
And I think that's a fair ruling because she had to run a long
way.
way.
I know she got a glove on it, or a hitter glove, but you're right. She had to run after that.
Yeah.
0-1 pitch. Takes a big cut, and the Eagles are down to their last strike. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded off the glove of Alex Brown. They will send the runner. There will be no throw, and BC gets a run across. It's 8-4, and we're not done yet.
We were a strike away, and now we've given them yet another at bat. Ball hit very hard. Short hop Brown. I'd have to score the hit.
It was a hit. Just put it up on the board. The 10th for BC. It's an RBI single for Hines.
And that thing really short hop Brown out there.
Yeah.
And people, well, she got a glove on. Well, you go down there and do it.
Yeah. Technically, yeah. Clemson got a glove on the last 2 hits, but they were absolute shots. Here's Martinez. She rips that one foul. Goes off our camera area. We've got to raise your hand if we're okay down there at 3rd. All right. That's the good news.
Now, Fred, I don't want to say anything, but that's the guy that was picking on you. I don't want to cause any trouble between you.
That's the indestructible Glenn Spake manning 3rd base. Let's see
this. Oh, we go off the camera into the dugout.
You think Rick Babby would have rather had it hit Glenn than his camera?
Oh, I can assure you of that.
A ball and 2 strikes. Grounded foul out of play, actually. Ripped it foul.
I'm surprised he don't give him fielding gloves. Look at him standing down there.
I think Glenn's down to about 4 lives, though.
Yeah, we don't need to give him any more TV time either. That's
a ball and 2 strikes. That's outside, 2-2.
And if you look down there in the BC dugout, they are still yelling, screaming, hollering. That's the sign of a healthy ball club. But I mean in terms of culture.
A pitch from Cintron. That's going to drift into the Clemson bullpen.
And you got to remember, Cintron worked last night.
3 innings last night.
She's strong. But, you know, they ask a lot of her offensively. They ask a lot of her this weekend on the mound.
Martinez really is battling in there, staying alive. This is a great at bat.
If Cintron had a changeup right now, she could screw the hitter into the ground because she is sitting dead red.
Grounder off the glove of Brown. Another hard hit ball. Everybody is safe.
And that ball was hit like a laser. Watch this.
3 straight hard hit balls. Wow. Gonna have a pinch runner coming in now for BC. We've got, as they hustle, that's Tavy Borders. The freshman will go out to first.
He got 24 hits in this game.
Yeah. Had 12 last night total.
Rittman calling time.
There's Tavy Borders, the freshman. She's going to pinch run as John Rippon comes out.
This right here may be as much to let Cintron catch her breath and settle down. Telling everybody to settle down a little bit. Take a deep breath. We got this game. We just got to finish it up. That would be my guess. I don't think he had anything in terms of strategy or something like that to discuss with him. But if it were I, the first thing I would have asked Cintron is, what are you doing trying to get Brown killed?
Janice Espinoza steps in. Runners at the corners. There's 2 out. First pitch from Cintron is in there for a strike. Espinoza 1 for 2 on the day. Was hit by a pitch. She scored a run. That misses 1-1.
Before we get out of here, Fred, I want to wish everybody a happy Good Friday and a happy Easter.
Absolutely.
I know that I'll be back for tomorrow's game. You're not working. You're going to do the normal family thing.
I'll be watching.
Yep, but you, I want to be sure you and your family have a great day on Sunday.
To you and everybody in our crew and everybody watching us at home. 1-2 pitch. That is foul.
You know, a couple times Cintron has had that 2-strike count and has not had that put them away pitch.
The foul ball gives her a moment to kind of gather herself.
This is one part of her game I'm noticing now that we might see some improvement between this year and next year is have a change of speed.
1-2 pitch misses outside. Runner will advance as Vieira could not bring in that throw. Borders takes second base, the pinch runner. Look down at third base. Hines made a little bit of a walk. 2-2 pitch. Called third strike, and that will do it. Clemson comes from a 3-0 deficit to clinch the series over Boston College as the Tigers knock off the Eagles 8-4. Clemson now 37-11 on the season and 16-4 in the conference.
She stuck with it and got him on the outside part of the plate.
This was just one of those struggle games to win.
Yes.
This was not easy by any. If you look at the score, you'll see 8-4. It was not.